Thankfully, WWE avoided making a major Alexa Bliss mistake. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that mistake could have been, why they avoided it, and why I think she's better off that they went into a different direction. Now, we understand that Alexa Bliss has been in the headlines, dominating the headlines over the last week. Her status with WWE. We know that she was supposed to return a few weeks ago on Monday Night Raw in San Jose. She was going to be part of a storyline with the Wyatt Six, a faction, a group in which is led by Uncle Howdy, aka Bo Dallas, the brother of the late great Bray Wyatt. That would have been a tie-in to the last time that we have seen Alexa Bliss on WWE programming, January of 2023, after she put Bianca Belair over in a championship match at the Royal Rumble and then was written off of television thanks to an angle involving Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt. We know that Alexa Bliss is ready to return. She was ready to return for WrestleMania season. She was going to be on Monday Night Raw. All plans were in place until they were not. We know that plans were nixed, not due to creative issues, not due to Bliss not being ready. In fact, she was all on board with the creative. She was all on board to make a return. She was prepped and ready to go. But it was a contract dispute. Now, PW Insider has given a little bit more insight into what exactly happened, and it was essentially this. Bliss's team went to WWE and said, hey, we want a new deal. We want to renegotiate. We don't want her to go back under the terms of her old deal. They want more money, more perks, etc. Right? Plus, it's been 2 years. Why not? WWE, they've opted to play hardball and not change the contract. They want her to go into the old contract. So they're at a standstill. Now, the Wyatt Six has since been moved to SmackDown from Monday Night Raw. They have yet to make an appearance on Friday Night SmackDown, and that leads us to today's video because I believe WWE would have made a major mistake with Alexa Bliss if they had paired her with the Wyatt Six, and I'll tell you why. Number one, the group is not as big as you think it is, or the ideology behind it. It really isn't. Most of the talents have never been main event talent, if ever, right? You have talents in which have, outside of their initial debut together, has only fallen down the card. They're not as big as Bray Wyatt was, and they will never be as big as Bray Wyatt is. And so you are automatically, if you're bringing Alexa Bliss back to television and you're putting her with the group, you're not only rehashing something in which is no longer there, you are also putting her on a lower tier on the card, therefore making her not seem as important as I believe that she should be. You have to keep in mind that Alexa Bliss is a multi-time former women's champion. She has faced some of the biggest names to ever step foot inside of a sword circle, and certainly in this generation of women talent. You also have the situation, the elephant in the room, which is Bray Wyatt is no longer here. Her history as the female version of The Fiend, her history with Uncle Howdy, her history with Bray Wyatt, it all relates, it all ties back to Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is no longer here. And at some point, you have to move on. You have to move on with storyline base when it comes to Alexa Bliss. I'm not saying what Bo Dallas is doing as Uncle Howdy is rehashing. I'm not saying that what he is doing as Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six is bad. I am not saying that. I actually think that he has taken that character in a much different direction and that group does have a lot of potential, but I don't see that potential yet in the way that WWE is booking them. Therefore, I kind of put them to a side. In my opinion, I think you bring back Alexa Bliss, and I've said this once before, I'll say it again. I think you bring back Alexa Bliss as Alexa Bliss, but I think you bring her back as a heel. I understand that they are going to cheer her right out of the gate. I understand that she's going to get a huge, monstrous pop, but I also think that it would be perfect for her to turn her back on WWE. I think you have the catalyst. I think you have the storyline right there in front of your face where it's, if you're Alexa Bliss, you can just easily go out there and go, hey, I'm back. I'm coming back for the women's championship. I don't care who's going to stand in front of me. And then she can take a shot at the fans and say, look, I've been gone for 2 years. You guys moved on without me. You guys found new toys. You guys found new stars and talents to get behind. Where were you when I needed you, kind of thing, right? So I think it's a perfect play to go in. And I've said this once and I'll say it again. I think Alexa Bliss is actually better off as a heel than she is a babyface. Even though she is a naturally likable person, I just think she comes across better as a heel. She's also found not all, but the majority of her success as a heel compared to a babyface. So play that into it. And especially if you're coming back to Monday Night Raw, you're also going to need another top tier heel because I would say Io Sky is a baby face, but also sometimes she can be a heel at times. I don't know. She's kind of like in the middle. Liv Morgan, top tier heel. Rhea Ripley, top tier baby face. You're also going to have Becky Lynch coming back. So you kind of need to even the spot. Would you rather have her come back as a babyface in terms of Alexa Bliss, where you pretty much have that territory taken care of, right? In terms of top tier baby faces, where she would fall? She would probably fall anywhere from 3 to number 4, behind Becky, behind Rhea, and then kind of be in the mix with Io Sky. Or you could say, hey, we need a top tier heel, and she would be essentially competing with Liv Morgan. And while Liv Morgan is fantastic, she just had a very long run as champion. So you're not going to necessarily put her back in the title picture, especially with Rhea as champion. So realistically, would you rather want to be brought back, if you're Alexa Bliss, would you rather be brought back as a number 3 or number 4 top babyface on Monday Night Raw, or would you rather come back as a number 1 heel, right? Where can you make an immediate impact? Where can you make the most money? Where can you get in line in a top storyline in which you will be competing against a top star in a top program with a top prize and potentially set yourself up for a championship run right out of the gate? So if you look at it like that, you look at the creative in which they came up with, and I don't necessarily see her getting put in a title picture right away, but let's just say within like the next 2 months. Would you rather be brought back as a rehash version and paired with the Wyatt Six faction on SmackDown? Or would you rather go to Monday Night Raw as a heel? Also, I should preference this. Let me restate this. Bayley is now on Monday Night Raw. I just forgot about that. So there's another babyface. So realistically, now it's Rhea, Becky, Bayley, and then Alexa and Io is fighting for that number, 4 to 5 babyface position. That makes it more even enticing for her to be brought back as a heel rather than a babyface. That's just my opinion. So I don't know. We're going to see where WWE goes with this. We're going to see how they book her, the way that they book her and everything like that. But if I'm Alexa Bliss, I'm really taking a look at this. I'm really taking a step back, and I am trying to figure out where I can go, when I can go, and where. Here's another question. Where does Alexa Bliss want to be? Where does she want to be in a year, right? Does she want to be a main eventer? Does she just want to have a role? Like, what does she want? Where does she see